ever worked harder than anyone around you and still felt completely empty? Like, no matter what you achieved, it was never enough. Or worse, the credit went to someone else. That feeling has a cure. And a Roman emperor discovered it 2000 years ago. Our story today begins with a man named Titus. Titus was a stonemason, not an ordinary one. He was the finest in all of Rome. His hands could shape marble the way a painter shapes light. His work was precise, patient, and full of soul. For 10 years, he had built the greatest temple in the empire, stone by stone, sunrise to sunset, season after season. And the morning it was completed, his master stood before the crowd and took every piece of glory for himself. Not one word about Titus, not one mention of the 10 years, nothing. Titus walked away from the temple and sat alone by the river. He stared at his hands, cracked, calloused, scarred, and asked himself the question that destroys more men than any battle ever could. What was the point? He had decided he was done. No more temples, no more stone, no more giving everything to people who take it. That's when he heard footsteps behind him. A man in a simple traveling cloak sat down beside him. No armor, no guards, just quiet eyes that had clearly seen a great deal of pain. You built that temple, the man said. It wasn't a question. Titus looked up, and something about the stranger made him answer honestly. I built it, but the world will never know. The man nodded slowly. Good, he said. His name was Marcus Aurelius. And what he said next, Titus would carry for the rest of his life. Good? Titus repeated, his voice sharp. How is it good that no one knows what I built? Marcus looked at the river and spoke calmly. How long have you been sitting here consumed by this anger? Since morning, Titus muttered. And yesterday, how much time did you spend worrying about whether your master would credit you? Titus said nothing. The week before, Marcus pressed. The month before, the silence was its own answer. Time, Marcus said quietly, is the one thing that cannot be returned. You can build a temple, you can earn back money, you can restore a broken friendship, but the hours you spent in bitterness, those are gone forever. And you are choosing to spend more of them here by this river, feeding the very thing that is killing you. Time is your greatest wealth, and bitterness is the thief that steals it while you watch. Every moment spent in resentment is a moment of your own life gone. But what am I supposed to feel? Titus demanded. Am I supposed to just pretend it doesn't hurt? No, Marcus said firmly. Feel it. Name it. Then ask your mind, not your wound, what to do next. He picked up a stone from the river bank and held it out. This stone does not decide how it will be used. It goes wherever the river carries it or wherever a hand throws it. You are not a stone, Titus. You have something the stone does not. And what is it? Titus asked. A ruling faculty, Marcus said. A rational mind. The ability to choose your response rather than simply react to the world. That is the most powerful thing inside you. And right now, you have handed it over completely to your master, a man who isn't even here. Your rational mind is your greatest power. Guard it, use it. Never let your emotions hand control of it to someone else. So, what do I do? Titus asked, leaning forward. Walk away? Start again? Take revenge? Marcus looked at him steadily. Before you do anything, ask one question. One question. Ask it before every action, every word, every choice. What question? Why? Titus blinked. Why are you considering revenge? What do you hope it will give you? Why did you build that temple? Was it for the crowd's applause? Or because you loved the work? Why are you sitting here? Every random action, every impulsive choice. These are the things that make a man's life scattered and meaningless. But a man who asks why before he acts, that man builds something that lasts, even if no one sees it. Do nothing randomly. Do nothing without purpose. Ask why and let that answer guide every single action. Now, Titus had been quiet for a while, and then he asked Marcus the question that I think all of us want to ask when life feels unfair. And Marcus's answer is the part I keep thinking about. Stay with me. What if I had just lied? Titus said quietly. Played the politics, said the right things to the right people, and I would have gotten the credit. Marcus was silent for a moment. Then, would you have? Maybe, Titus shrugged. And then, what would you have? Marcus asked. Credit? Applause? Your name on a wall? And what would you have lost? Titus started to answer, then stopped. Never, Marcus said. Esteem anything as profitable which compels you to break your promise, to lose your self respect, to hate anyone, to pretend, or to desire anything that needs to be hidden. He looked directly at Titus. Your master has a name on a wall and no integrity. You have no name on a wall and complete integrity. Tell me honestly, who is richer? Your integrity is the only possession no one can ever steal from you. Protect it above everything else. But it's lonely, Titus admitted. Being the only one who knows the truth, Marcus smiled. The first real smile of the night. That loneliness you feel, that is actually freedom trying to introduce itself. Titus frowned. What do you mean? Every man who needs the world to confirm his worth is a prisoner. He wakes up each morning and checks. Do they still approve of me? Do they still see me? Do they still clap? Marcus shook his head. But the man who finds his worth inside himself, he wakes up free. He does not need the crowd. He does not need the wall to carry his name. He is complete. He is enough. Exactly as he is right now by this river. You are not incomplete because the world hasn't recognized you. You are complete right now. Build that inner sufficiency, and nothing outside can shake you. The sun was beginning to lower behind the hills. The river caught the orange light. I don't know if I can go back to work, Titus said, after all this. Then don't, Marcus said simply. Titus looked at him surprised. Don't go back half heartedly. Whatever path you choose, walk it with your whole soul. Half commitment is a full waste of life. Darkness had nearly arrived. The fireflies began to appear above the water. So, what is the goal? Titus asked. If it's not recognition, not wealth, not even building great things, what am I actually here for? Marcus stood up, and when he spoke, his voice carried something quiet and absolute. To be a good person in every moment. That is all. Not a great emperor, not a famous craftsman, not a remembered name, just good, just honest, temperate, courageous. In every single interaction, every small choice, every day that most people will never see or know about. He looked at Titus one last time. The temple you built, it will stand for centuries, and your name won't be on it. But the man you choose to be tonight, walking home from this river, that is a temple no one can demolish. That is the only masterpiece worth building. Perfection of character, being just, honest, and good in every moment is the only goal worthy of a human life. Titus stood up from the riverbank. The temple was still there behind him. His name was still not on it. His master was still who he was. Nothing in the world had changed. But something inside Titus had shifted, deeply and permanently. He no longer needed the wall to carry his name. He no longer needed the crowd to confirm his worth. He no longer needed the recognition to know the value of what he had built. He was enough. His integrity was intact. His mind was his own again. And as he walked home in the dark, he already knew what he would do tomorrow morning. He would wake up, he would pick up his chisel, and he would build something beautiful. Not for the applause, not for the credit, not for anyone's approval. Simply because it was the right thing to do. Simply because it was true to who he was. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal that night, "Perfection of character is this: to live each day if it was your last, without frenzy, without apathy, without pretense." This isn't a story about a stonemason. This is your story. Every time your work goes unnoticed, every time someone else takes the credit, Every time the world doesn't see what you gave, you have a choice: collapse into bitterness or build the one temple that truly lasts, your own character. The stones are already in your hands. Which of these 7 teachings hit you the hardest today? Drop it in the comments. I want to know. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe to Moments of Magic because every week we sit together and find wisdom that makes life feel a little more worth living. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.